Tuukka Rask.
Yep.
In his 500th game.
Yep.
Against the Leafs.
Of course.
Being interviewed after the game by local Boston Bruins broadcaster Andrew Raycroft. While John Ferguson Jr. is their assistant general manager. Why are you laughing?
How aren't you? Hi, kids.
Victorious puppies. Oh.
This team is ruining my life.
Why do I watch hockey? Stress relief.
We can. And we will.
Come here, boys. We're not going to wait on the Leafs or you're going to starve to death. Here, there was a banner raising yesterday. Let's go. Team that identified a consistent problem and did something about it and actually achieved success. Too long? Should I shorten it?
Come on! Come on! His 500th... Portland! John Ferguson! They almost won a cup! Oh my god, if they won it. Oh my god, you had to have taken a picture with all three of them with the ring. You're like, drop all the political stuff. That's the real collusion. That's just it. I want to see that op-ed. I want to see that published. The Russians want the Leafs to lose to the Bruins. There's a whole troll farm in St. Petersburg right now just going, Pasternak didn't high-stick Muzzin. Marchand has never done anything wrong, Snowflake. We found it. We solved it. That's why the Leafs always lose to the Bruins. In Boston, I mean. Is it because the Leafs just beat the Bruins on Saturday? Isn't it amazing how quickly the mood changes? Do you know why the mood changes like this? It's because Leaf fans are nuts. That's what it is, right? Or is it that being a fan of this team is knowing what's coming and then it happens? One of the things about anxiety is like irrational fears. Like you fear something is going to happen, but like don't be ridiculous. There's no evidence suggesting that's going to happen. This loss was always going to happen! From the beginning of the season it was going to happen because the Leafs were going to play their backup in the second half of a back-to-back. Oh, it wasn't his fault. Oh, the game was actually close. We'll go play in the National Close Hockey League. I'm not going to shave. I'm not going to have any structure to this video because I just refuse to care until they do. And then I'll take a couple days off, and then on Friday, Patrick Marleau will come to Toronto, step on the ice, and commit literal arson, and we'll watch the Habs embarrass the Leafs on Hockey Night in Canada again. By the way, we're going to be through the first month of the season, and the Leafs starter will have only started half of the Saturdays. It did have to be against the Bruins, though, didn't it? A Pasternak through the legs. He's just spinning the ball on his finger! I thought everything was going to be so much better once all the contracts were signed, once the summer was done, but here is life every single day now. When the players who make a lot of money do good things, we go, good! Hey, good! That's awesome. And then when they don't, we go, way to go, stupid idiot piece of garbage! You're supposed to score, you make lots of money, you piss baby toe fungus! Followed by several tweets that say something like Kyle Doofus and William Greedlander. Like, I'm sorry about the rant this morning, but they've already played 11 games and they're all starting to blend together. They all seem the same, don't they? Doesn't it seem like a waste of time to talk about each individual game? Like, I'm sorry for Bruins fans watching this. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm gonna apologize to someone who has everything. Let's just cut to the chase. Like, here's a good tweet to start off with, alright? Is it too much for Leafs fans to ask for a consistent effort? I don't care about wins or losses. I just want to see a team with heart go out and make an effort every time they play. Is that too much for us to ask from our team? I thought a bunch of guys tried hard. They had good efforts. I mean, Mikheyev, you never have to ask him to do anything. Kerfoot was great. Kapanen has been so good since going back to his original role. And everyone's ragging on the stars. Matthews, Marner, they're finally getting to play together. Everyone's ragging on them because they were invisible in Boston because, I mean, give Boston credit, they do well at making star players go invisible. I saw this tweet from Anthony Petrelli, really good hockey writer. I wanted to talk about it, and I think this is the perfect time to bring it up. So he's quote tweeting a video of Greg Popovich of the San Antonio Spurs from last year. Greg Popovich on doing your job. If you're a plumber and don't do your job, you don't get any work. I don't think a plumber needs a pep talk. You're a basketball player. Come ready. It's your job. And Anthony adds the comment, if you think it's anyone's responsibility for players to be ready for the game other than the players themselves, I direct you to this Greg Popovich speech. And you know what? In essence, they're right. Anthony Petrelli is right. Greg Popovich is right. You get paid handsomely to do what you do. Get out there and do what you are paid handsomely to do. But I do want to add this. I think it's possible Greg Popovich has been in sports for too long. Like being a professional athlete, or in this case, a professional coach, that's a weird life. You are divorced from the realities of most people. And I think they forget what regular life is like. If you're a plumber and you don't do your job, you don't get any work. You're acting like plumbers get up in the morning and they're like, let's go plumb!
see the carrot peels went down the drain because I scared him. But for future reference, you shouldn't peel your carrots in the sink and then rinse them down the sink. It's not good for it. Not everyone shows up to work completely amped to do their job every day. I think if you like what you do, I mean, if you're paid to do what you do even, you should at least do a good job. But anyone watching this video who has ever worked a part-time, full-time, whatever job knows it's easier to show up to work and to do a good job when you like your boss. And how amped is that plumber to do their job now if their boss is kind of grinding on them? And do the plumbers talk amongst themselves that their boss might not know what they're doing anymore, despite the fact that they won a plumbing championship 10 years ago? Like, that's great that you won a plumbing championship 10 years ago, but plumbing has sort of changed over the last decade and we need to start using new tools. Look at the schedule and go, the backup plumber's working Saturday. That's our busiest day. Why are you giving him Saturday? He's new! And then that plumber starts showing up like, hey, it's your plumber. Where's your sink? I'm not sure what the difference between most of the plumber coaches around the NHL is tactically. I think it's that they're motivators. Players like playing for them and they will run through a wall for them. The Boston Bruins, no matter what year it is, no matter who is playing for them, once the puck hits the ice, they start skating like they just escaped from Arkham Asylum. Which brings us to this. I might as well stop beating around the bush. Has Mike Babcock taken this team as far as he can? Based on what I've seen to start this season and over the past couple seasons, yeah. Yeah, I think so. It's not even his fault. It's not to say he's a bad coach. Joel Quenneville got fired last year. Sometimes a coach just runs their course and it's over. Also, in education, it's so nice to get a diverse education. It's so nice to have different professors teach you different things. Babcock has had almost half a decade now to teach this team what he knows, and I think they know it now. I don't think any Leaf is confused as to what they ought to be doing. I don't know. But maybe someone else comes in, there's some new things they hadn't really considered, and also maybe the atmosphere changes a little bit. I don't know. I'm grasping at straws. The team should look better than this, and it's not. And it's not. Now, there's also this. The Leafs have a 9.83 PDO after 11 games. Y'all don't have to do this to yourselves after every loss. Yeah, okay. Like, Dom's absolutely right. Their PDO's not good. They've been unlucky, I guess, to start the season. We should just sit here and wait for a reverse of, like, what happened to the Islanders last year, right? Like, they started with a really high PDO, and then, I don't know, made it to the second round of the playoffs, I think. Which, the playoffs have a second round? Yo, this league is wild! Oh, but the schedule sucks, which it does. Oh, and Tavares is injured, which he is. And Hyman is injured, and Dermott is injured, which they are. All very true. PDO's down, schedule sucks to start the season, there are injuries. Wow, does this sound an awful lot like the last days of Randy Carlyle. There is always gonna be something. Like, do we think Craig Berube is a brilliant tactician? He's the best coach in the league? Or do we think that the St. Louis Blues, who I thought were a top 5 team in the NHL on paper last summer, just started playing to their ability and also got, like, league average to slightly above league average goaltending? That's all I got for this one, man. That's all I got. I'm sweating bullets. Question. Why is Marchand so great at getting under your team's skin? What, like literally, like picking out pieces of hockey stick? Like, ow, oh, what the hell, this is autograph. Hey Wes, this is yours. Hey, by the way, I enjoyed that viral clip of you doing the same thing that you always do. You look really good on the camera. I was glad to see you again. One of the things that's talked about around the NHL, and Jeff Merrick has brought this up on ice surfing, is how much of the game do we want to be special teams? How many penalties do we want to be called? And what the Bruins do, and Brad Marchand in particular, what they do so well is you can't call everything. You just can't. And the Bruins were down 4 power plays in this game. And there were still like 3 egregious missed calls. Pastrnak slashed Jake Muzzin in the head going for the puck. He didn't mean to do it. But the puck's right there. If you're not looking at the puck as an official, as one of 3, what are you looking at? Get fired! The 3 cross-checks or whatever it was on Mikheyev, alright, they never call cross-checks, fine. But Gauthier gets tripped by Chara, and there's been a penalty called
What ref? How often do you see a team take 2 penalties on the same play and go down 5-on-3? How often? The answer is basically never. So it's a free shot. It's the middle space in bingo. Just have a way at Freddie Gauthier. Just go for it. He's not gonna do it because he's already fabulously rich, but there is an alternate universe where once Brad Marchand retires from hockey, he will become a ref. And honestly, I think he'd be pretty good at it. Per Lindholm scored against his former team, the Toronto Maple Leafs, in what may very likely be Nick Batan's last game in a Maple Leaf uniform. Yes, yeah. Welcome to the Leafs there, friend. It happens all the time. I'm not even fazed. Does it concern you the Leafs can't stop the cycle play from any opponent? Usually results in a goal or penalty. All right, Mark, counter question for you. Do you think that's a recent issue? I don't think so. That's probably the players though, right? That's probably the players, the different players every single year for God knows how long. If I sound fed up, it's because I am, man. Rip the Band-Aid off. Stop. Should we panic about the start of the season? No, we should panic because they're like 500 since January. I'm getting nowhere in this room by myself. We're gonna record a brand new Panico Pizza Steve Dangle podcast later today. I'm gonna have Adam there. I'm gonna have Jesse there. We might have a guest. I'm not sure. I gotta go hug my dogs. This obviously isn't healthy. Oh! Shoutouts before I go. These are all the wonderful people who have donated to Easter Seals Ontario. That's a charity that raises money for kids with physical disabilities. Playing in the Eric Lindros Celebrity Hockey Classic. We got money from Nathan Almeida. Anonymous again! My goodness, this woman is so generous. Ford Boot Chain Guys. Carly H. Rusty Clutch. Kayla and Mia Chichura? Anonymous again! And anonymous again! Tom Endres. Anonymous. We gotta get a plaque for Anonymous, man. We got, oh my goodness, Malicious Intent, LFR13 year sub, Anderson, Bozak Cap. Thank you for your donation! Bo Bochenko, Chris O'Hara, and Victoria Schorsch. The amount of people who thought I didn't know what Anonymous meant last video was pretty funny. Listen, I don't know what position Nick Robertson plays, but I at least know what Anonymous means. I noticed we are sitting at 494 donors. I would love to get that up above 500. I would love to get that to 1,000 by the time the tournament is on November 14th. That's when we have the draft party, and November 15th, that's when we have the tournament. If you got $100, $1,000, if you got $5, if you have anything, Easter Seals Ontario would love to have it. It will make a huge difference in the lives of so many people, so many families. So that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. Take a day for you. Get this right and find your motivation. I say it all the time, but I might as well say it again. Easter Seals Ontario, trying to raise $50,000 for these guys. CelebrityHockeyClassics.com. It's in my pinned tweet. It's in the description. Anything, and I'm serious, anything helps.